Hello, hello. Sorry for being late. I was buying dog food and some lady in front of the checkout in front of the line in front of me was complaining about the price of horse food, I think. But she held up the line. And it took longer than it should have been to check out. Anyways, on with this.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was. But not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. "Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles."
Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown to on the day we arrived in the country, and in Sasaki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So, life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. 15th of April, 9:13 a.m., Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Knock, knock, knock. That morning, I was woken up by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Sato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Sato-san? Yes? Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite? Yes. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Let me see, what case is it today? Here we go again. So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean? Oh, telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but you're not going to get away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing. Nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. It was a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point. Right? I understand. Suppose Suzuki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, will he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago, we had that long telegram from him. That very long telegram from him. Do you remember? Complaining of seasickness? But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? I was just wondering, what might have become of Suzuki-san had he stayed in London? Oh. You mean as regards Lauren Van Zieks, the Reaper? Yes, can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. The dog's just like sitting in the door. I don't know what's his problem. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Like the way that nightmarish trial ended, on the very day we arrived in London. Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Suzuki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably, that means. The curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps? Even if that is the case, it's a little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants? No, I don't think so. Clearly, Lord Van Zieks has appeared in courts once since our last encounter. Oh? Yes, since Suzuki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court for for several years. So it just been me who had to face him in his recent spate of trials then. Just my luck. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry? What was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Can you examine anything? It's spring at last, and the weather is warmer now. I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Oh, would you like some tea, Naruhodo-san? Thank you, Sugata-san, but I'm alright for now. The green tea Sugata-san makes me from time to time, and Iris's unique herbal infusions. What was that noise? I don't know, my dog's being weird. This place is paradise for a true tea lover. Green tea is such a wonderful... What? You want something? Oh, I know what he wants. Your mom got him spoiled. She gives him treats around this time. Hang on, I'll be right back. The fuck was going on with my model there? What the hell? Anyways, Mom got him spoiled. Let's see. I've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already. Could tidy up once in a while. Sato-san, I always say. Making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies. And time spent tidying up is time you can't devote to the same cause. Time spent on ridiculous arguments is time that could be better spent on some simple housework. Yeah, I just realized that. She wins. I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. So this is the tea set that Sato-san brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she doesn't notice me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. It's so bitter. Tea is a drink to be enjoyed, Naruto-san. You really don't have to force yourself to drink it, you know? I don't like to see you scrub your face so. Do you know? I've never seen you inside your room. I've never seen inside your room there, Sato-san. Reading paper inside. I should think so too. Young maiden's private chambers? Private chambers is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know? Whatever you say, young maiden. Yeah, I think that's it. It's April, Shom, sweet. Morning, Runa. Morning, Susie. Good morning, Iris. Iris? Is there Runa? What's that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Ah, yes. You noticed that, did you? Am I getting a migraine? Maybe. I think I'm starting to get auras. Should be fine. Early isn't the best form this morning, it seems. Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning. A good morning to die, perhaps. Had something happen? Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look a bit miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Okay. Damn this blanched existence. That all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and a bit coffee for me. It's not too much trouble. Meow. There's a cat? Oh. Oh look. It's Wagahai? Wagahai? Is that how you say it? Good morning, boy. There must be some sort of tiny door for cat steals. But how did they get there? Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would be indeed a fine day to die. Something looked different. Something missing from Mr. Sholm's desk? You seem very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? It used to be the case, in my hands. This violin sung like the dawn's chorus, like a Millicent? Liaison? I don't know. Tones would make flowers bloom. It would? But now, the muses are amused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored, to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever. No more recitals of unbridled emotion. Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? Don't worry, I'm sure I'll come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next day unmercifully. Oh dear. Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left, for pity's sake? What is left? Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today. Ah, well done, Miss Sato. Your observation skills do you credit. Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale in significance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, will you? You mean Hurley's great, Elenoscope? Elenos? I don't know. That's at Windy Banks now. Sorry? Is that a Windy Bank? No, Windy Banks, the pawnbrokery. Pawn? What? You mean you pawned that enormous machine of yours? Has some considerable value, you see, quite undeservedly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation has become so desperate. Let's see. I would have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Dear madam, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How could it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbroker is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. Yes? Doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither do you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, so it takes understanding exactly. What do you mean when you said that we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. The money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. What is your problem, huh? You in love? And on Saturdays, they go recover their things using the money they've earned. Had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windy Beaks, you see? Pawnbrokery can be thought as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Are you, Hurley? Doesn't matter. The world is dead to me now. What? What do you want? Hurry, you've been outside. What do you want? I got dog aggro. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then. Oh, yes, and I've become very attached to little Wagi. It would appear this previous owner has completely forgotten to him. Is completely forgotten to him. What? I don't know what he wants. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews are empty as the hearts of the muses. If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could. Pets are surely forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. And for good reason, terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Well, I don't mind because Waggy's adorable. It's adorable. Yes, it really is. But yes, what about the door? I've never seen that tiny little thing, a tiny thing in the main door before. Where'd that come from? Oh, you noticed? You're observant, Bruno. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. What is that? Call it the cat mat. Mat? You know what this case is about yet? No, it hasn't started, really. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? We haven't gotten to the murder yet. All we know is there was a telegram that Susato... And she won't talk about it. That's alright, you can make a cat flap for a little furry friend, like Waggy in seconds. I hope you guys can't hear my dog in the background. He's making weird noises. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see? What is your problem? What do you want? I don't know what he wants. What? He's just bored. And it can do in any door at all, no matter. Oh my god. Alvin, hush. Hush. What do you want? I already walked him today. He's been outside. I gave him his treats. He has water. He has food. He's just being a nuisance right now. And it can do in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see? Wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap, rather than making a machine to make the cat flap? Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office. Stairs. Iris? She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Oh, what was that? Buggy high? What was that? Oh, no. Buggy high is tangled up in your violin. I think he thinks it's a toy. No, what is he doing to it? Oh dear, Mr. Sholm's precious violin. Why should I care? What? Shouldn't be surprised. Cat is more... The cat is a more accomplished musician than I now. Let me go see if he needs to go outside. He's been annoying. Okay, hang on. Be right back. Okay, that's taken care of. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley? Out of the cat streets, I suppose? Maybe we should assess the damage. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius? One of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. Doesn't really look like anything special to me. It happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop. And a nondescript back alley. Broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. And until today, it's been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I've made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? Oh. There is none. Mr. Sholmes. What, dear madam? What? Thoughts are preoccupied and fancies a release from this dull routine. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think? Huh? What do you mean, Miss Sata? Oh, Susie's right. The tone of the wood is completely different. That's not all. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? Terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but the instrument isn't a violin at all. Then what? I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola. Has he been playing this like a violin the entire time? Well, I mean, you played it really similarly. Or someone took his violin. You're right, you're quite right. This isn't it, my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner then? Ah, I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what happened if we ask her. What happened? What do you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this violin, this viola, I mean, was at Windy Bank until last week. Ah, at the pawnbroker's? Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved music partner? Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved music partner. There's a proverb from the East, which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Anyways, let a beloved child travel. Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in hope that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea. Last week I pawned my great analysis scope in order to release my precious instrument. It would appear Mr. Moneybank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it had just had strings. Fine state of affairs it is. That's why I always say, Mr. Naruto, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. But earlier you told us you can think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault. Come, Mr. Naruto. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect? Frosting your coffee so astutely? Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency which we are faced? Must visit Mr. Wendybake's broker at once, that's right. Isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Precisely, Mr. Sato. But a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with the increasingly vacant aspect to frost your eggs ever more astutely? Alright, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Bruno. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I'm rather curious to see what a British pawnbrokers looks like. Whether Baker Street or Wendy Bing's pawnbrokery? Is anything here, though? It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' office. Still can't quite believe it. Never expected things to turn out like this. Oh, I know. To actually be sharing accommodations with the world's greatest detective. If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I'll have no one regret. Regret. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd happy to defend you, of course. "15th of April, Wendy Bank's pawnbrokery." So this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my, there's all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid my eyes upon before. Oh, so that's the sun? That spark of wonder in your eyes? You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this? Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill to me. My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. We are calling on matters of business, our pleasure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fear in his eyes. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, sir. Welcome back. Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruto. It's time to inform Mr. Windybank of our ire. Come. The fight is afoot. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes. The second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Wendybank. The color of the wood is different, has holes in it. I am the same size. Wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes. I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. Inexcusable mistake of a pawnbroker. There is only one way to make amends. What? I shall have to take my own life. Not those extremes. I don't think that'll be necessary, do you? I may just say one thing before I hop off. Yes? It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes. He took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry? As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, "Ah, here it is." You did? And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly on my own door for allowing you to leave. Shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me. No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine. It appears that the fight is over. I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windybank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Well, you wouldn't be Sherlock Holmes without that questionable disposition now, would you? Aha, I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. May I remind you of the peculiar collection of items you brought through my door in the past? Oh, peculiar items? In an extreme, ma'am, for example. The unpublished manuscript of a eponymous work of the novels of Sherlock Holmes, or some such. Oh my, a new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I have yet to read, you mean? Forgive me. Wait, before you die, you must tell me more. I must know more. Tell me everything. Wow, Sato-san really is fired up now. Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof? Well, one day the gentleman here brought an old metal chest, you see. I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Windybank. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir. Not a farthing more. House is something of great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I beg your pardon, a manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here. And that was that. Such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mysteries lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely. Of course, sir, of course. It's safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life. This is all very strange. I wonder, could I ask you something? Ah, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that's a table suit. I suppose I could offer you a 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat low. Sorry? Ah. Before your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas, no less. Colors are exquisite, design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say? Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting. I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here. Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you described. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned. But what happens if they don't pay you the money? The items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me. So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then? That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all. The very idea, Mr. Windy Banks, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually. Says the man who was telling us it was a good day to die only this morning. And let us not forget that I've already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Sort of measures. I engineered a simple device, which Mr. Windybank has installed here in the shop. Call it the Red-Handed Recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Windybank? What was that deep sigh about? What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are 2 just below the ceiling. You can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Very astute. It is indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. Every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. Here, I have an example I can show you. Ah yes, a print from the camera is set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. Really? That's extraordinary. Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look. That's gonna be important later, probably. So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed. But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals? Indeed, as you say, my dear madam. Then what if the incident were to occur in between times? One could only say that it would be a cruel twist of fate. I must confess, your devices have been giving me some cause of distress as of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Windybank? Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of the film, sir. You most graciously placed not 1, but 2 cameras in my shop after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film would break me before I'm much older. Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we are on the verge of the age where safety and security comes at a price. Oh, heavens help us. starting to feel better. Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Windybank. Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you tried to pop. Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer. I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt. You're not? Sorry? Only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed. That's not really what I meant. Good day to you then, Mr. Windybank. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes. So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last. Okay. Look at this. Look at this lovely big shiny box bee. That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country? Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before. Shall we listen to it? Shall we listen a while? The sublime sound. It's like the music of angels. I never heard anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside which the notes can be played. The notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played. Goodness. What a simply delightful machine. Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course. Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace. What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you can care to imagine. Those are forfeited items offered by sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn, or I can't say that right now. Pop an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for a agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale, at the price of his choosing. Oh yes, now you've explained it. I'm noticing little price tags on everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform never embodies my student spirit. Look at that enormous ledger open on the counter over there. Mr. Windybank is, if nothing else, very peculiar about recording the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself in all sorts of trouble. Might explain the thing that catches my eye, far more than ledger. This revolver here? Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering in articled herein, my dear fellow. I assure you, Mr. Windybank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed filling his portless eyes. Oh, you don't mean he'd blow his brains out? Indeed. And recompense for his blunder. Oh my. But in any case, of course we'd never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it? else? There's one over here. Seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain there. That leads to the storage room, where Mr. Winniebank keeps articles that are currently in pawn. I see. There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any larcenious activity. Recommend it or not, it's not something I tend to do. There is one key, and Mr. Winniebank keeps it in his pocket at all times. Before he sleeps, he places it into a small pot, which he slides under his pillow. How on earth did you know that, Mr. Sholmes? I'm a detective, sir. It's my business to know what others do not. I am frequently assailed by information that I neither care for nor wish to retain. Mr. Sholmes, you are a wonder. The prime suspect if this pawnbrokery ever is burgled. Now, what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does? It seems to have two little windows for looking through. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you're looking at is a stereoscope. Fascinating. It's aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself. Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me for a moment while I have just a look. Just before you do, there's something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see this image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you need to be cross-eyed. However, that is beyond you. It is of little consequence today. Alright then, I'm going to try it. Mr. Naruhodo, you must see! At once! Oh. Alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed, like I'm trying to look at my own nose? I don't believe it. Just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They're often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them. Why are people meddling with such black magic? It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at the present. I shall save this lesson for another day. Oh. Look at this. Whatever could it be used for? I have no idea. There's a small catch there. Just here. Look. We're going to open it, aren't we? Oh my, that's amazing. Has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism. Which we'll never manage to put back the way it was before. What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing. No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. As though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. That's not a calendar you can easily miss, is it? 15th of April, today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It's an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. A perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Winniebank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see? So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession. Obsession, you might say. Oh, yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job. What? Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair, you know it. The article is barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you even had a proper butcher's at it? Seen all I needed to see, young girl. Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her. Oh, yes, it's the young lady from Mr. McGilda's trial. Let's go. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust amongst crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly known called a pickpocket. Gordon, Bennett, you lot. Hello, Miss Lestrade. Hope you're doing well. Huh? What? You remember me then? Do ya? Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So, what are you doing here? Down now, like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Gonna pop that black weasel? Sorry, coat? Have ya? What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment about it? Ah, good day, unless I'm mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article. I shall negotiate with Mr. Windybank on your behalf. Hold the other one. I don't need help from some stuck-up D. Got my business. Go on, I'll make trouble for you. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. He's really done it. He's gone. I'm sorry, but as I said, there's really no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc? And you! Go on! Leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we're not here. Can't be offended in the slightest. This other son can really stand her ground when she wants to. Whatever. Somehow, I didn't really think you were the sort of person to use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. Yeah, well I am. Alright, I'm a Londoner. Just like everyone else. Not a problem, is it? No, not at all. Just that, well... Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. Probably don't you belong to her? Probably got her on the dive, did she? Yeah, I can see you ran all over your Chevy Chase. Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines. You're not gonna deny it, Mr. Nahodo? Alright then, I'm just gonna come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things off you steal from other people? Well, I don't know how best to answer that, really. Suppose, sometimes. You're not gonna deny it either, Miss Lestrade? Not this time, alright? I swear, that thing belongs to me. Get this that Mr. Windybanks is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all of this. Mr. Windybank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade brought us? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface. Ah, this is a music disc, you see? For use inside a music box. In a music box? What? You don't even know what a music box is? Eastern law ain't too savvy, right? I know what a music box is, just never seen one of these discs before. Small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc, set the machine going, and beautiful music plays. So incredible! Tell us what tune is on this disc. Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you that. There's so many different types of music box, you see. British made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc is made for. Ah, let's see. And that's it in a nutshell. Don't have any customers for an item like this, even if this young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny. It's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it well. He? Who? Never you mind. It ain't right, that's all. This is worth good money. I know it is. Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker, won't you? She's been in here before, of course. Just a little under million. At her million, I see. And brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer. So, is there something dubious about this disc she brought in today? Well, only they were that simple. Sorry, what do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. Storage ticket? So... Miss Lestrade has actually come to redeem an article from you today? Is that alright? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing. Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. But she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and interest. I was obliged to return the article to her. Well, what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windybank. The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. Her jacket? It's the overcoat that she redeemed. Oh. What? What's wrong with that? It fits, doesn't? Don't it? It means it's mine, of course it does. So what about the disc then? How does that come to all this? Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn. Girl and I can agree on the price. I'm confused. I thought you said Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I understood it. That's right, yes, and rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean... What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? Ah, I see. So, it came from the pockets of the overcoat, did it? What are you barking at? Hey, go see who it is. Go see who it is. 1 second. Hey, I'm gonna need the end stream. I walked upstairs and I just got like super nauseous from the migraine I'm having at the moment. I might... If I'm feeling better later, I might start up again. If not, then next time I'm gonna stream is probably... maybe early Monday for a couple hours. Then Tuesday. Sorry, I'm just not feeling well at the moment. Of all the days, it couldn't have happened yesterday. Like this migraine couldn't have happened yesterday when I was literally doing nothing because my power went out and then my internet went out. Anyways. Have a good day. Sorry for ending early. And see ya all later. Bye. Thank you all for coming out though. Bye.